And we are live. Go ahead, Cole. You got this.
Oh, okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sub Sunday. We need to figure out what the episode is because every time I just forget.
It's
45, it
45.
looks like Kelly's signing.
45. Okay, so you have me as usual, here all the time when
You
I
haven't
should
even
be.
been here that long, and you don't even remember what the numbers are.
Yeah, it's you don't remember either. I don't want to hear it.
Yes, but
We
I started
have
it.
we have Kelly, of course, and it's Spencer. Is it? We didn't even actually get introduced.
Yeah, my name's Spencer. I have a small YouTube channel, and I'm a fan of Kelly's, so I just thought I'd
Pimp it out.
stop
What's the
by.
YouTube channel?
It's youtube.com/The Crude Network. It's
Dro-
just
drop,
mostly gaming.
drop a link in the chat, and I'll put it in the description.
I have never, to be honest, I've never used Google Hangouts, and I don't know how to drop a link in any chat or anything like that. I see it now. Thank you for that.
That's all you got to do. Okay. Um. So yeah, this is probably going to be about an hour long today because I'm in the midst of moving, and Cole has, well, midterms, which is funny because he just started college, so he already has midterms.
That term sucks. So I've been in college for 2 months, and like literally like when you go in college, you only have class for like once a week, and then you're having the midterm now. It feels like I haven't even been in that class like 6 times, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, here, don't fail.
Are you going to a
Fuck it up.
state university or community?
Yes, I'm
State
going to a state university. I go to UConn.
Good for you, man. Yeah, college is, yeah, it's very fast paced compared to high school, man. Super fast paced.
I went to
And
college, and yeah, the youngest person in the class was 27, maybe.
oh my gosh, you shouldn't even. You should see the looks I get when I come into class. Like the other day, I was in class, and everyone in the class is older than me, and they're like, "How old are you? Like 22, 23?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm 17." They're like, "What? What? Are you, what? You should still be in high school." I was like, "I have a late birthday. It's a long story. It's funny."
Secretly, I'm a secret genius that managed to make it through high school faster than everybody else.
I'm not trying to brag, but yeah.
My IQ is 351.
That's it?
No, no, something about like the average person IQ is anywhere from 110 to 130, I believe, is average or something like that.
Yeah, I think like 130 to like
One,
140 or something like, or 135 is like above average. I don't know.
yeah. All I know is my test came out 135.
I don't understand. With IQ tests, what do they like exactly like grade you on? Like, how do they do that?
It's just a whole crap load of questions, and it
It's
all determines
it's
on how many you get answered and how you answer them.
Yeah. It's basically a test to show like how much knowledge you can retain. It doesn't necessarily say you're smart or dumb. It's just your intelligence quotient, I think it's what it stands for. So it just shows you like, best case scenario, worst case scenario, or where you're probably going to fall in line, throughout your life. But no pressure.
No pressure. No.
Yeah, the person I think I'm probably gonna get like pelted with it, but the smartest person in the world that I know of is Stephen Hawking's, and he's got something like 281 or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's been crippled his entire life, so all he's done is sit there and read books.
Not his whole life. Just in his adult life, actually, he was a teacher. Yeah, he was a professor for a while, and then slowly, like there's a new movie actually coming out. I don't know if it's out or not already, called Hawking, and it's basically his life, and like it's very interesting. I've seen like the trailers and stuff, but he used to be able to walk and stuff like that, and over time it just got worse and worse.
See, I thought he was crippled since day one. Wow, don't I feel like an idiot? Um, he just came out in a wheelchair and a voice box.
He made it inside his womb. That's how smart he is. He made it inside his mom's womb. He just built his own wheelchair.
Yeah, came out with a voice box.
Yep.
What is that doing? I think it's trying to cry.
So Kelly, I've seen that you've been streaming a lot. How's that been
Oh,
going?
it goes well. I mean, I've been getting Jordy involved, and a lot of that is because he's in his little rut he goes through, and it's easier just to drag him into a phone call and make him guide me through Dark Souls.
Oh my God, I saw you play Dark Souls. That just hurts me. Like, it hurts me so much.
I can't play that game. Yeah,
It's
I
like
can't.
you die so fast and so
Yeah,
easy. I remember like you were facing that first boss and you were trying to jump off a ledge, and after you jumped off the ledge, he would already like hit you mid-air. I'm like, what can you do? You can't even do anything there.
Yeah.
Once you figure out how to play it, it's a lot easier to play than you would think.
So did
I
you?
mean, seriously, a lot of it shouldn't be called Dark Souls. It should be called blocking, forever. Because, it's usually you lock on a target, you block their first attack, you go around them, and then you backstab them, or you parry them, or, my personal favorite is wait for them to be staggered and then attack, and then stagger and attack, stagger and attack.
Those enemies though I mean I haven't played Dark Souls just because I've heard of how many times you die and my rage wouldn't allow me to play a game like that. But some of those enemies seem like they would be very intimidating. When you first go up against them, like those huge dragons and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
they are. I actually cheesed a drake to death today. There's a dead drake that you have to fight at one point, and I was like, you know what, screw this crap. I'm not walking up on here trying to hit him. I whipped out my bow and arrow and stayed out of range and just pelted him for 41 damage for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Sound theory, it works. I win.
Don't even get hit. Don't even get hurt. You can just walk on by.
Just walk on by, pick up my stuff, and keep going. It's like,
Yeah.
like there was a couple bosses that I didn't even bother going into their range because I could just pick them off with the bow and arrow. What's the point of endangering, getting killed, losing all the humanity I've collected, when I can stand behind this grate and shoot in between the grates and kill this character, or I can stand on a lower level and shoot him for 25. I'm going to be standing there for 10 minutes firing this bow and arrow, but you know what?
You'll get the
I
job
didn't
done.
get killed.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
get killed.
How far are you in? Did you beat it yet?
I just rang the second bell, so I'm heading into a big castle.
Wow. See, the thing is, I wouldn't be able to play Dark Souls because just watching other people play it, like really skilled players, and like seeing them dying, like, oh no.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That was my first hesitation, and a lot of comes down to a lot of the reason I am playing it is because about a year ago I spent about $6 on it, and I'm like, I gotta play this game. I got like 300 plus games on Steam, and I'm like, I gotta start playing these.
Oh, by the way, are you one of those people who at the Steam Summer Sale, you're like, that's a good deal. Wait, I already own that game.
Yes, actually, currently I am one of those people that go, man, that is an excellent. I already own that game. Damn.
The Dark Souls series, I think, is like a perfect example of where gameplay trumps graphics. A lot of these people, they think that the game has to be the most beautiful game in the world. Dark Souls to me isn't the most beautiful game in the world,
No.
but the gameplay looks amazing. Like it looks like you can really get into a game like that.
It's not for casuals. I can honestly say this. I'm a casual gamer. I like playing games. If I don't like the game, I'm not going to play it after the first time I played it. There are a couple games on stream that I have just straight up quit because I didn't like playing it. And it's not a casual gaming game. Now I'll beat it. I'll beat it just to say, yeah, I beat Dark Souls. What are you going to do about it? And I might do like a second playthrough at one point in my life, and if I can ever get a copy of 2, I'll play 2. But it's not a game I'm going to invest a copious amount of time, like some people do, into it. I mean, there are people who dedicate hours and hours to this game, and I'm like, nah, there are other things to play. There are other games out there. But don't get me wrong, it is a great friggin' game, though. A fantastic game.
So, I didn't see you play more of that Aliens game.
Oh, I've already beaten it. I can't wait for the DLC. That game was fan-frickin-tastic. I actually need to do a final thoughts on it here soon because I forgot to do it after I beat it. But I got the season pass, so all I'm doing now is waiting for the DLCs. I got the Crew Expendable DLC that came with it when I pre-ordered it, and the Soul Survivor DLC, which apparently wasn't part of the season pass. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's how they. Did you guys hear about that? I don't know if you guys have talked about it or not already, but the Destiny scandal, where they there was a glitch that showed all the some guy had a glitch on his game where it basically showed all the DLC that was, and it was all already on the disc, and all the expansion packs and everything that you can play is all already on the disc. They just chopped it up to make it, so that you can play it later, which is ridiculous. If it's already
And
there, you should
I
be able to
love
play it.
how afterwards Bungie came out and tried to like denounce that whole thing. They're like, no.
Oh, see, Resident Evil 5 did the same thing. They had a couple game modes that you couldn't unlock, like you couldn't get unless you bought the DLC, like the multiplayer, like actual 2v2 type still, where you're fighting other players. And when you paid the $5 for it, all you got was a not even like a 40 kilobyte download, just to tell the game that it was unlocked because it was already all on there.
Yeah, my worst experience with DLC, I think, was, and this is one of my favorite games. I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of the Dragon Age games, and I'd beaten the whole game, and then I, bought the DLC, and I was like, I'll give this a try, and I unlocked a character, and I unlocked this thing called like the Black Garden or something like that.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? It was like a trader outpost, and you go there, and you're like, oh, cool, I can buy all these cool things, and you're like, but I can't play any more of the game because you literally can't do anything. I don't know, man. I mean, it was a long time ago, so it might have been the first Dragon Age. But I bought both DLCs, and I was like, but I'm still done with the game, So I don't know. I felt like
there wasn't really much added to it. It was kind of like, oh, thanks. I can get some stuff.
What, like with Awakening or whatever it was?
I don't remember which one, but I basically just I paid real money to get a vendor, and I was like, why wasn't this just in the game,
It happens. Fallout New Vegas does that too. You get the Gunrunner DLC, and you get a vendor and a couple weapons. That's all that is. And there's like a tiny side mission to it, but nothing much else really. That's why if you're gonna buy New Vegas, just buy the Ultimate Edition. You get everything for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
I need to do that. I love Fallout so much. There's only one game that Bethesda made that I think that was a flop, and I think, did they make Brink? Did Bethesda make?
Well, if they did, that game was a flop. So.
What game?
Brink.
Brink, was that made by Bethesda, or who was that made by?
Can look it up real quick. Brink. First-person shooter, PlayStation 3.
Yeah, Bethesda made.
Bethesda, yeah, they made it.
The thing is that when I think of like two companies I think that are really amazing at making games, just on top of my head as far as first-person shooters are concerned, it's Bethesda and Valve, because I haven't had a game besides Brink where I've saw that was bad. Everything is really like thought out.
Bethesda's had some crappers. I'll tell you that.
Probably is when.
Well, Brink. There's been a couple that were still worth playing, but not very good.
Evil Within?
Okay, so before anybody gets all butthurt about with Evil Within, let's cover exactly what Evil Within is. Evil Within was marketed as a horror game, like a scare horror game. But it's more of an action survival game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not very. It has a couple good jump scenes, and you're gonna be looking at scenes going, "Ugh, that's a little rough," but it isn't horror by any means. It's like Resident Evil 4.
Oh,
It reminds me of Resident Evil 4. That's exactly what it reminds me of.
I like seeing all the trailers for it. I thought it was gonna be like one of those things that like everyone plays on YouTube and like is faking reactions to and stuff.
I'm playing through it right now, and it's really not scary. Like, I mean, there's some parts where you feel your heart beating a little fast, but then at the end of the tunnel, there's not something that jumps out at you, and you're just like, oh, okay.
All right. Alien Isolation was good. I know a lot of people were like, it's just like Outlast. I'm like, sort of. The beginning part until you get the flamethrower, yes, it's like Outlast, okay? Because you are hopping locker to locker, hiding place to hiding place, which makes sense because you got a xenomorph chasing you, and you have no way to kill it, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, it gives that whole suspense thing.
Is it only one?
It's one until about halfway through the game.
Um,
Then you find out that spoiler alert. Then you find out there's a crap load more.
I wouldn't have lived. I would have died. Yeah. First like 2 minutes, I'm dead. That's it. Game.
But I mean, all in all, the game was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed playing it. You know, you had to deal with other humans in there. You had to fight off other humans and the androids and stuff like that. They added a lot to it. The story was very good. I really enjoyed the story, and I'm excited to see what they do with the DLC. I hope they can finish what happens with Amanda afterwards.
So was it kind of like a cliffhanger?
Yes.
Would you say that this is probably one of your favorite games of the year? Alien Isolation?
Yeah,
that good?
Yeah. That good, actually, yeah. I'm like I want to play more. I want to know what happens afterwards. I want to know what's going on, you know. And I swear, if the DLC is telling somebody else's story, I might be really pissed off about it.
Just like a side character that you didn't even know about.
The thing is that when I see stuff like that where they talk from a side character, if that side character meets the main character somewhere during that time, then it's like, oh, I remember when I saw that happen at this point. Maybe.
Ripley barely runs into enough people that are running around. Most of the people that are running around try to kill you.
There's not really anyone trying to help you?
There are, but they stay stationary the majority of the time.
Got it.
So, it's one of those things. It's like, don't mess it up. That's all I'm saying to these guys. Please do not mess it up. Let us find out what happens to Amanda afterwards. Okay. If you want to add something like, you know, side character after we find out what happens to Amanda, then I'm good. But if I get 3 DLC that has nothing to do with Amanda, I'm pissed. I'm done. You know? Because the Crew Expendable DLC was awesome. Was amazing. You got to play as Ripley, you got to play as the captain from the Nostromo, and or the black guy, I can't remember the black guy's name. And it had a little thing. And then Sole Survivor was literally like the last 20 minutes of Alien, where Ripley was running to one end of the ship to activate the self-destruct, and then hauling ass to the other side of the ship to get the hell out of there. And it was awesome.
You know, I feel bad that I don't remember any of the Alien movies.
Well, they're before your time. I mean, they're a little older. I mean, the newer ones are kind of a joke. You know, like the Alien vs Predator. Like I didn't like that at all.
How they tried to say that the Predators made the aliens so they can.
Yeah, it's just like I get that they were like the two big uns back in the day, but you don't have to mesh them like that much. You could have left them as their own entities. You know, they should make that would be a good game, a really good like Predator game. That would be fun. I would play that for sure.
They made a decent one.
Yeah. Was it the Aliens vs Predator?
No. Concrete Jungle.
I've never heard of that.
Never heard of that.
That was on Xbox.
Oh, the original Xbox?
Yeah, the original Xbox. And it was on PlayStation 2. But it was actually decent. It was probably one of the better ones to come out, where you're playing as a predator.
You were playing as the Predator?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Or an alien, like an alien were you isolation mod where you're playing as the alien instead of the main character. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, that would last a whole whopping 10 minutes. Now, what would be cool? Crap, I gotta hold on. Concrete Jungle. There we go. Let me make sure before I go any further. The game opens in 1930s. In New York City, the player controls a predator who stalks and kills mob boss Bruno Broggia and members of his gang who are at war with the Irish mob. Bruno's wife, Isabel, shoots the predator in the eye, causing his blood to spatter on her and her baby son, Hunter Broggia. The predator makes a hasty escape, leaving behind his equipment, and as he attempts to reach his ship, the roof of Access collapsed, leaving him incapacitated. The Predator then sets the ship to self-destruct sequence and fails to kill him as an outside range of explosion. Shamed by defeat and having exposed his race to the humans, the Predator is exiled by his clan to a planet inhabited by deadly alien creatures. 100 years later, the Predator, now called Scarface, is offered a chance of redemption. Okay.
Wow. That,
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah, that is pretty deep.
Pretty interesting, and I mean, I remember vaguely playing it, like, you know, in 2005.
Speaking of the Xbox original, there's a game coming out soon that is basically my childhood wrapped in a single disc, and that's the Halo Master Chief Collection. I don't know if you guys are Halo
I'm downloading
fans.
it right now.
Yeah, I just finished downloading it, and that is like, I don't think I'm gonna have to call my girlfriend and tell her that we're not dating anymore for a good month because I'm not doing anything else besides that game.
I could never get into Halo. Okay,
Really?
yeah. Before we go into that, what would be really cool with Alien Isolation is a multiplayer feature, where one person plays as an alien, one person.
Oh, then you have to chase the. Oh, that would be
Yeah,
pretty.
that'd be
That would
cool.
be pretty cool.
That
Like
would
a hide and seek type thing.
more or less, you know, the goal is, okay, if you're playing as Ripley, the goal is you need to get to point A to point B, and the other person's goal is to find Ripley and stop her.
Or it would be like a time thing where you have to survive for X amount of minutes, and then the alien's job is to make sure you don't survive that long.
Yeah, well, they have a survival mode on it already, so that's pretty interesting. Now, as far as Halo goes, I could never get into it.
Huh.
I got into it too much. There was a time where like I was like on the internet and I had all the graphic novels. I was looking. I could tell you backstory. Like it was bad because I was just like, oh my gosh, because it's the first person shooter that I've ever played was Halo.
Now, I don't mind the stories, like the books. I've read a couple of the books.
They're good. Their books are really good.
Yeah, it's like if you ever read the Alien versus Predator books, they're actually really cool too. There's a 2-book series that follows a human female that ended up getting integrated into a pack of predators. And this takes place after she left. She roamed with them for like 2 or 3 years, and she was like, I need to get back to humanity.
Wait a minute. So she's just a human person,
Huh?
and these group of predators are like, you're with us now.
She killed one of their higher ranking members in a fight, and she took some of his gear and they modified it so she could use it, and she joined the pack.
Oh, no one's gonna fuck with her now. Maybe they're like, oh,
Well, there is one that tries to mess with her a lot, and she calls him like Shorty or something like that because he's where most predators are anywhere from like 7 to 8 feet tall. You know, they're huge. They're not tiny by any means. He stands at like 5-6 feet tall. Okay, and she is, you know, average Asian female height, like 5'1", 5'2", which makes it even funnier because she makes Shorty look like a bitch half the time. Yeah, and shows him up, so he doesn't like her, and she talks about how, you know, being with these guys, the roaming with the predators, that she has to constantly like show dominance when it gets called.
show dominance. How does she do that?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember some of the mostly fights. Like she'll get into a fight with like Shorty. She fights a lot, and he traps her in a hold with a queen alien, and she gets out through the vent, comes around, lands on top of him, and smashes his helmet and his face into the ground in front of everybody else. You know, you're my bitch.
So she don't take no shit.
No, she doesn't. She's also, you know, 5'1", where everybody else is, you know, towering, huge, muscle-bound aliens, and she's human. So she has to assert her dominance.
So the books take place after she leaves.
Yeah, the first book that I read takes place after she leaves. She traveled for a couple years with them, and then she came back to humanity, and she took over this I don't remember what the heck she was doing. She's doing something. It's been a couple of years since I've read the book.
But just to think, like, how do you go from like I lead this predator pack to I have a desk job?
Well, she didn't lead. She was just
A
in the
member.
higher ranks.
Oh.
And she had a government position whenever she came back for some reason. She was over a colony or something. And at one point in the book, she looks at the android head that she carries around and says, some days I really miss predators because if a predator had said this to me, I would have just stabbed him in the throat and left.
God.
And she talks about her gear too at some points. She's got the helmet to let her breathe whenever she needs to, and has her whole arm gear and the claws, all that crap. She still has all her stuff.
I gotta read this. That sounds like pretty.
Yeah. What is this? What is this book called?
I can't remember to save my life. I know it was part of the Alien vs Predator series.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you the title of it to save my life right now.
Oh, and we were talking about Halo.
Yeah.
Halo.
Oh, we got onto books. The Halo books were good. The games themselves. I played one time on Xbox Live, and a 12-year-old kid was cursing at me. I'm like, yep. If I want this kind of abuse, I'll go play Call of Duty, and I don't have to deal with as many.
Well, like right now, I would say that the more mature people play Halo now because no one usually like before back in like Halo 2, Halo 3, everyone had mics in the lobby, everyone was talking trash to each other. Now everyone's silent. No one really talks.
Well, because you don't have. And back then you didn't have a party system, but you were just forced to communicate with whoever you were playing with at the time. Now it's like, oh, you're rude to me. I'm just gonna go in my party and talk to my friends who aren't rude to me. I'm
gonna click mute.
But one of the things that I love about all the Halo games is the story, but the only thing is that I don't know how they're gonna sell Halo 5 because I think at the end of 4, which actually I think honestly I don't like Halo 4 as much because it's not made by Bungie. It kind of like I was like I see what they're trying to do, but that's not really. Didn't really do much for me. But as far as Halo 5, apparently Master Chief is by himself now, and I hope something happens to him. Because no, seriously, because before all the Spartans,
something good or something bad.
Well, something bad because before all the Spartans who didn't have AIs with them, they all got crazy and died. I want to see now that Chief is alone, he doesn't have anyone to talk to. What happens to his whole psyche and stuff?
Huh.
They're trying. I think what 343 is trying to do, because, I mean, I love Bungie because they made my favorite games of all time, but they also made like my least favorite games of all time. I mean, I'm an avid Halo Reach hater. I don't like Halo Reach, but I think what 343 is trying to do is trying to more like divulge into Master Chief's like humanity and trying to show that. Because on the other games he rarely talks, he rarely does anything other than kill things. And the Halo 4 he kind of talks more. He shows him like how he feels when I don't want to ruin the game, but when main characters die, and stuff like that. But I don't know. I kind of like where they're going with the story. Multiplayer is another story, but the story for Halo has always been solid throughout every game.
I feel that if sometimes sometimes the multiplayer, I think sometimes, just getting away from Halo, but I think sometimes the multiplayer affects the single player a lot. For instance, in Destiny right now, everybody is mad because of the fact that there's this gun that was really good. You have to beat a raid on hard mode, and it takes a lot of coordination, a lot of teamwork. And then Bungie said, well, this gun is too good in PvP, we're going to patch it. So now everyone who plays PvE says, well, I use this to kill aliens and not other people. Why can't I keep mine this way and they keep theirs that way? So it's just a whole bunch of bickering back and forth of how Bungie and Activision are just ruining everything. And how everyone on the Destiny subreddit is saying, well, you guys know that once Call of Duty Advanced Warfare comes out, like, a majority of people who are playing this game are going to leave, so why would you do these things?
Call of Duty is the Madden of first-person shooters. I don't like Call of Duty, man. I just can't handle it.
TMX Macanon channel what is the theme of the story? What story are you talking about, dude? Drop it back in the Q&A and if of the story, what you were asking, and I'll try to answer it. And apparently, Dylan Frazier has an Xbox 360 and Xbox One. And never played Halo, and he apparently owns it, which is pretty funny because I've played Reach, and I know a lot of people bitch about Reach, but I kind of liked the story of Reach because it was six destitute Spartans fighting for something that, and in the end they get fluffed.
Oh, I don't know if this is. I could say spoiler alert, but sometimes when games have been out for a long time, I'm like, if you haven't played it by now, then it's too late. But I'll say spoiler alert. At the end, it is notified at the end of Halo Reach, the elite that kills you is the Arbiter.
Really?
Yeah,
I never knew
because
that.
all of the elites are right-handed. Every single elite you see has a sword in their right hand. The Arbiter, he's left-handed.
That's amazing. I have no clue what you're talking about. That is awesome.
He's like, oh yeah, I only played that one game. I don't even know what you're talking about, but that sounds.
The Arbiter, yeah, that guy. He was a cool one.
I made it 35 minutes into Reach, and I like I said, I went online and I read the story afterward because I just don't like the gameplay.
So what is more your style? I mean you play Dark Souls a lot, Alien Isolation. Are you more into like the RPG type games or just
Okay, so horribly enough, my most common game that I've ever played is going to be Call of Duty World at War.
really?
Yeah, on PC because I can mod zombies all day long. I can download modded zombie maps and I can play them. I loved the zombies genre from Call of Duty. It's probably one of my favorite things to play. But games I lean towards, I like trying to think of okay, so Outlast and Alien Isolation I enjoyed. I enjoyed the crap out of both of those. You know, Outlast was really creepy and it really messed with you in the entire game. Even the Whistleblower DLC was crazy, okay? But like if I had my choice and it would bring in viewers, I'd play Darksiders again. I'd play like Legend of Zelda, stuff like that. Big epic open world stuff and go like there. Like Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3. I love those type of games.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with you on that one. I kind of have the same sort of taste in games, and I found myself doing something lately that I don't like, which is I look at games that I'm going to play, and I say, will this give me views? And if no, nah, I'm not getting it. It's not worth my time. Because majority of my game playing revolves around, can I put this on YouTube? Will people enjoy it? Not like, okay, this is a good game, let me play it just for fun.
That honestly, I mean, that's why I haven't if you look at my channel, I haven't uploaded in about 2 weeks, and that's only because it got to the point where I was just playing games just to upload, you know, and like gaming, I love gaming, you know, so I just want to do it for fun, you know, and it got to the point where I wasn't doing it for fun anymore, so I was just like, you know, I'm gonna take a little break, I'm gonna just play some games, just enjoy it with my friends, and then hop back in a little bit later and start uploading again. You know, sometimes I think you just need to take a break and take a step back and take a breather. You know.
I actually have a game that if I'm streaming, it's because I accidentally turned on the stream, or you know I don't care what's going on. Dead Rising 3 actually is my mindless fun game that I play, and you know, I don't stream it to impress anybody. I don't really stream it for any other reason than I love playing this game. I love building a giant motorcycle with a roller on top of it and flamethrowers and slaughtering endless amounts of zombies for no reason. It's fun. And, you know, if I stream it, it's because, you know, I'm not aiming for any goal. I'm just playing for the fun of it.
So you said you played zombies a lot. What do you know? I'm guessing this was on PC. Did you ever play like Black Ops Zombies or Black Ops 2 Zombies or anything like that, or just World at War?
I have Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1. I have the DLC for it all on PC.
I really
on
think
360
that,
also.
I really think that the zombie games that Treyarch has made, like it itself, like there's been times where I'm like, oh, do I really want to buy that, but I was like, oh, zombie, because you don't even understand how many times where me and my friends have just, for like the entire day, just played zombies, just had conversation after conversation about like certain things.
It's fun. Okay, it's fun by yourself sometimes, but for the most part, if you got three other people playing with you, it is the funnest game you will ever play.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, I just don't like how it plays. I don't like the fact that there's no real goal. You can't end it. And I'm like, it's about having fun with your friends.
There is a goal. There are boards to the zombies, you know. So if you're serious about it, you can try to get on those leaderboards.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I might say, all right, let's do this one day, and that's about it. Is beta death? I have always had problems with Fallout 3 freezing on PS3. No matter what I've done, I've always had problems with it. It has to do with the graphics engine or graphics something. I can't remember what the hell it is. I looked it up and I can't remember. Call of Duty is the Madden of FPS, and it belongs on console. Still got a lot of love for it, though. Anyways, my question is, have you guys played Chivalry?
I have not.
Chivalry is amazing. It is. Let me put you in a suit of armor, put a huge weapon, and run like a madman at random people and kill them. That's what Chivalry is. I don't even bother with the objective-based games. I find a free-for-all. I put a claymore on, and I run it. I run at other people, and I kill them. That's basically what Chivalry is all about to me. It is great. Even the DLC is fun. You pick the Spartan, or you pick the Ninja, or whatever class you want to pick, and you just run at somebody and attack them. It's beautiful. It is very beautiful.
I personally haven't been able to play that because I haven't really found many games that well, I think there's probably a lot of games that my computer can run, but I just don't know of these type games.
I also like Payday. Payday is a good idea. Both of them are actually pretty cool. They are good games. They have good it's a good idea.
And for $30, it's not a bad deal. You know what I mean? Like $30 for hours of fun with your friends. Yep. I'll take that any day. You know, it's cheaper than a movie nowadays.
You always have that one guy who pulls out his gun or puts his mask on too early. And everything just.
Oh yeah, you're like, all right, guys, let's do this quiet. Let's do this stealthy. And he comes running out and shoots the guard right in front of everybody. It's like, yep.
Yep. No, that's not gonna happen now. Everybody stick to the plan.
Everybody stick to the plan.
Yeah.
Now, Payday 2 right now is $7.49.
How much did you say that was?
On PC, it is $7.49. The first Payday the Heist was free Friday, and it's currently $1.49.
Wow.
If you have not picked up Payday.
God, I don't understand how Steam does these sales.
They don't lose much. A lot of this is the person is the company that put it out. Like, I think let's see. I'm gonna search Payday. Let's see, because I have the majority of the DLC for all of it. I'm missing 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm missing 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 DLCs for Payday 2. Okay, but Payday the Heist, the first game, you can pick up the Wolf DLC, and those maps, yeah, you're gonna play the heist pretty much the same way every time. Okay, we know what you're gonna do. If you're playing the hospital heist, the longer you can keep the cops off you, the better. Okay, but it's still fun to go and cause the zombie outbreak in Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
So they have awesome ideas there. I love what they have.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
What
do you mean cause the zombie outbreak in Left 4 Dead?
Okay, so Left 4 Dead is made by Valve, and Payday is made by who's this again? I gotta remember who they're made by. I'm looking it up right now. They're made by Overkill Software. Valve and Overkill got together and said, okay, we're gonna do a DLC for Payday the Heist called No Mercy. Okay, Left 4 Dead, the first map on the first Left 4 Dead is No Mercy. and you're going to the roof of Mercy Hospital. In Payday the Heist, that map, No Mercy, you are going onto the 22nd floor or something like that of Mercy Hospital to extract blood samples from a victim, from a patient that has a really weird infection.
Oh.
Hint, hint, hint. Anybody? So, and you got to get in there and you got to draw out the blood. You got to get 3 viable samples, drop it into the elevator, and then escape before they blow the place up. And that leads to... That's supposed to be like the step into Left 4 Dead. How the outbreak starts because of these guys. So it's pretty cool what they did there. Now there is one thing that in Payday 2 that they did is they've actually increased the difficulty. Like they gave the cops more armor, and the bulldozers are ridiculous powerful right now. It's stupid how strong they are now.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I got to a point on the 360 where I got to a certain level, and it was just the game pretty much played itself at that point, you know. And,
Yep.
and that's one of the main reasons why I stopped playing it. Was because at that point I was just like, I'm not really even trying anymore. And, you know, we know exactly where they're going to come out, and we know exactly how they're going to come out. So
Yeah, well, they did a patch like last year where all the enemies got more health, better armor, and they upgraded the AI, so it is a lot harder now. I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody out there is like, yeah, we got this covered, no big deal.
yeah, it's like the people that do the Destiny raids in under 30 minutes. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys do that, but but good job.
Yeah, no. There's no that raid. I've been yelled at so many times because the way the raid is, if one person doesn't do his job right, you gotta start all the way over, and you don't want that. Well, not all the way over, checkpoints, but still, takes a long time. Spent hours on it.
Have you beaten it on hard mode yet, or no?
I have beaten it on hard mode. I got the Mytho class, and then it got nerfed, and I cried.
I have not yet beat it on hard mode, only because normal mode is so easy now that like I'll just run through that real quick, and then just be like, well, I've done the raid again, so I don't know.
Okay, so we're gonna get away from video games real quick.
Sure.
Bear eats body of Marin Williams, California man who died of cardiac arrest. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Why is this a news article, though?
Why didn't anyone, I'm sorry, did they find out that he was dead after the bear ate him? Or were they like, I don't understand how that works, because if they knew he was dead, why did they leave his body there?
Maybe, okay, hold on. 65-year-old man identified as Mary Williams had walked from his trailer in Humboldt County to a water source about 100 yards away on October 8th when he suffered cardiac arrest. Which means he was getting some water and he died. The bear was bedding just feet from the water source apparently and saw or smelled the body and dragged Williams away, he said. The bear saw an opportunity for a food source and took advantage. I hate to say this, guys, but how is this bear any different from us? We see an opportunity for a food source, we're going to grab that thing, and we're going to drag it back to our den, and we're going to chow down. But apparently the bear did eat most of him. He was about 85% consumed. Damn, that bear was chowing, man.
This might sound messed up, but you know, if the guy is dead, you know, at least his body served a purpose at that point. You know, most people are just buried. You know, he was a food source to an animal.
Food source. Well, see, there's dangers in that though, because what you know, the second that bear gets taste for human meat, that means we're on. Huh?
I said we're just so tasty. He'll never stop thinking about it.
He'll go right eat us. So. But at the same time, he is carrying. He's gonna eat what he can eat, you know. So.
I wonder what. So he ate 85%. I wonder what the rest that he left over? What was he like? No,
Do you start from the top or do you start from the bottom? Let's be honest.
or maybe just the middle.
Nice.
Just go right for the good stuff, you know?
Just dragging an arm off, looks at the other bears, looks at the guy who's dressed up like a clown. Hey, is this meat taste funny? Sorry, couldn't help that one. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. The old man's dead. He was either going to be cremated or buried. At least he fed a bear,
Imagine living 65 years. Like how much that man has seen in his life. 65 is a long time, And
Well, we can
just to die from a bear.
we can definitely tell you he saw the intestinal tracts of a bear.
Yeah.
Rough day.
Yeah, that has to suck.
Yep. And then we're gonna go to a more upbeat note. Apparently, Marvel gave Robert Downey Jr. the giant A from the Avengers. On the Stark Tower. It's a Stark, and there's the giant A. Well, he made a joke about it to the people who made it. What is it? Marvel Disney or something like that now, or something, or made it to the A, which is probably 3 feet. And I'm looking at it, and we're shooting in England. And I said, I need that in my office in Venice. Downey says, and about 2 weeks ago, a wheeler shows up. I'm like, what the heck is this doing here? And he said, and they go, this is the A you asked for. And I go, they brought it. So now we have a massive A that will be prominently placed. Downey, okay, was clearly welcome. Okay, so apparently he made a joke about how he wanted the giant A from the Stark building, and they gave it to him.
I actually read a quote with how Robert Downey Jr. I saw it on Imager, and how Robert Downey Jr. gets memorabilia, and he actually said something to the effect of how do you get all this Iron Man memorabilia?
Oh,
He's like,
he takes it.
just take it. He just walks off set with it, and no one says anything.
A lot of actors do it. Like the whole Lord of the Rings cast left with stuff. Like a lot of it was gifts, and some of those guys walked off with stuff. It's it happens.
How could you not?
Exactly. Viggo Mortensen, he played Aragorn. He left with he bought a couple of the horses. And he left with Narsil. Not Narsil. I think it was the sword that he ended up getting in the second or third movie. I can't remember what it's called, but it was Narsil originally, and he ended up leaving with that. They gave it to him as a present. Pieces and parts of his armor, and everybody left with a little bit of everything here and there as memorabilia from the movie.
I can't believe we didn't even talk about this. The Warner Brothers announcement about the new movies, the 10 new movies from the future, that's gonna be made in the future.
From the future.
From the future. Yeah, I'll drop a link in the chat. So you
drop
guys
a link. Why he does that? There's also another movie that I'm actually really I really want to see. It's called Fury. It's got Brad Pitt in it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
good reviews too.
Yeah, so I was reading about it, and apparently Shia LaBeouf had a tooth surgically removed for the movie because he said he didn't look authentic enough. He hadn't been into a fight, and on top of that, he didn't like the wounds they gave him with makeup and stuff. So he cleared off part of his face and cut his face open to make it look as
he's a little crazy. So
Yeah,
this isn't the part that makes him crazy. What makes everybody else crazy, what makes one other person crazy, is Brad Pitt looked at him when he did it and said, "That looks great, man."
he's Brad Pitt. He does what he
But
wants.
see,
Brad Pitt chipped his tooth for one of his movies. Yeah.
he also had a tooth removed for that movie.
Oh really?
Yep, he chipped his tooth and had one removed for it. He's like, that was for Fight Club.
Yeah.
And he's like, Tyler Durden can't look pretty. So he messed himself up for it, and it's like speaking of Fight Club, that scene in the parking lot where Edward Norton punches Brad Pitt in the ear.
Yeah.
That was real. That wasn't fake. Like the director looked at Edward Norton and says, "Punch him in the ear." And if you watch, he punches him in the ear, and whenever Brad Pitt's like, "Oh, God, that freaking hurt," you see Edward Norton pulling back, laughing his ass off.
Yeah, guys, we're not supposed to be talking about this.
That's right. But no, Fury looks fantastic. It's not really built on anything real that happened during World War II. It is just a World War II story, and
Can you lay the background? I haven't heard of this movie.
it's about a tank crew. They are going somewhere. Let's see. It is.
It's a epic war movie.
Yeah. I think they're heading to like the Battle of the Bulge or something, where all that happens. And on the way there, one of their tank treads gets busted, and they have to hold down this road until they can get it fixed. And just a lot of stuff happens.
Sounds pretty good.
Yes. I actually can't wait to see it. Warner Brothers announced 10 DC movies, including Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and 2 Justice League films. Oh, speaking of this, has anybody watched the new Flash TV show?
I've not.
No, I haven't. I haven't watched that or that new Arrow show.
I'm not even going to bother with the Arrow show, but I watched the first 2 episodes of The Flash, and in the 90s they had the Flash TV show also, and the actor John Wesley Shipp was the Flash. Now, almost, God, what is that? 21 years later. Holy crap, I'm getting old. Almost 21 years later, John Wesley Shipp is the father of Barry Allen, which is the Flash. So they have the original Flash from the 90s playing the father of the new Flash, which is fantastic. I love the fact that they did that as a nod back to him being Barry Allen. And so far, they've done a really, really good job with it. I've actually, it's not crappy like some of these other shows have been, but it's I've enjoyed it enough to where I will keep watching it, and I'm hoping that they don't cancel it.
So, like, what standpoint is this coming from? Like the beginning when like he has like I don't understand how I've never seen the Flash story, so I don't know how that
Okay,
happens.
so there are actually Jay, Barry, Bart, Wally. There are 4 Flashes, okay? There's Jay Garrick, which is the original Flash. He fought Hitler. He was, the 40s, 50s Flash, okay? He was experimented on during World War II and something with heavy water. I don't remember his exact origin story, but something about heavy water is what gave him the ability to run almost the speed of light. Okay, without his metahuman abilities to tap into the Speed Force, he can by himself run roughly the speed of light. Okay, so he's fast regardless.
Yeah.
Barry was struck by lightning. I don't. Okay, in the show it was because of not a fusion reactor, a particle accelerator exploded, and it released dark matter and a bunch of other stuff into the atmosphere, and the lightning bolt struck him, and there were chemicals around, and he became the Flash. Okay. As far as like the original story, I can't remember. It's been such a long time since I've actually read Flash that I can't. I couldn't tell you to save my life anymore. But basically, something happened. He got struck by lightning. There were chemicals, and his metabolism sped up, and he was able to run really fast. Okay. Wally is the first Kid Flash, and he actually has a very long run as the Flash, from like the 80s to I think to about like 4 or 5 years ago. Wally was the Flash. The events that created him. Okay, I gotta remember how this. Something happens to where Barry goes back in time, and the event that created him, the lightning bolts, also created Wally and made him into a Flash. Bart is the great grandson of Barry Allen from the future. Okay, he is also he was born, and a year later he looked like he was 5 because of his attachment to the Speed Force. His aging was sped up, but his mind wouldn't. So he spent the first like 7 years of his life in a what are they called? An imaging chamber, so they could help speed his mind up to grow to match his body. Okay, and eventually they sent him to the past, to Wally, and Wally figured out what the problem was, and just jump-started his body and everything, so that way he would stop rapid aging. Because Wally was the most attuned to the Speed Force and his powers than any of the other Flashes. He could run the fastest. He could vibrate through everything. He was the Flash at his most powerful. Okay. Bart came through and he eventually became Kid Flash, but he was Impulse for a very long time, and he had a 14 episode run or issue run as the Flash, and that was probably some of the best Flash issues I've ever read in my life, because when he disappears during Infinite Crisis, he comes back and he's 22 years old, but mentally he's 16. His body rapidly aged. So he has a 23, 24-year-old girlfriend, and he still thinks like a 16-year-old. He's got to maintain a job, be the Flash, and try to grow up. And it just made for probably one of the most amazing like Flash arcs I've ever read, and I loved it. And in the end, he ends up going back to being a 16-year-old kid again.
Just 16-year-old kid with a 23-year-old girlfriend sounds like my dream.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would always want.
What's funny is he tells her this eventually, what happened and what's going on, and there's an awkward conversation between him and Robin about her at one point. And he's like, "Are you ever gonna call her?" And he's like, "What the hell am I gonna say to her? I'm 16."
I'm reading this this thing that you linked about the Warner Brothers 10 DC movies.
Mm-hmm.
They're planning. I mean, 2020 seems like it's far away, but it's really not that far away for 10 movies, 10 full-length Warner Brothers superhero movies. You know, it's not that far.
Well, let's see what they got here. They have.
I just hope they don't try to push these movies out as fast as they can.
Make them crap.
And then make them crap like the first Green Lantern movie, because it was crap.
We didn't speak of that.
And so because the Avengers is a huge thing, it's just a huge thing, and I don't want them to come out with the Justice League and we're just like, I have no attachment to these characters, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I don't care what anybody says. I like the first Green Lantern movie.
Really?
Yeah, it was cheesy. Come on, guys, really? It's cheesy. Just watch it. Enjoy it for what it is. Shut up. Stop being a comic snob and enjoy it. I read the Green Lantern comics, man. I know that all of that was wrong. Okay, trust me. I enjoyed watching it though. I thought it was funny. Ryan Reynolds was pretty great for the role. He's a better Deadpool.
He is a much better Deadpool. I was about to say.
He's a much better Deadpool. So here's the list of the movies: Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice in 2016. Suicide Squad, which is going to be pretty freaking cool, will arrive in 2016, which I have to. Okay, so an adaptation of the comic book that focuses on a team of imprisoned supervillains run by Black Ops missions of the government. It will be directed by David Ayers and will arrive 2016, which means 2016 will have 2 supervillain team movies, assuming Sinister Six hits its release date. Okay, so we're looking at Suicide Squad and Sinister Six. But I don't think
Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, Wonder Woman will arrive in 2017. Justice League Part 1 will in 2017. The Flash will hit it in 2018 with Ezra Miller.
Ezra
Miller. Who the hell is Ezra Miller? Yeah, I don't see him being...
He's playing Jay Garrick.
What?
Yeah, he's playing Jay Garrick.
Where do you see that?
Oh, it says unless as... Okay, sorry. English, never inspect.
The fact that Miller is already attached to a movie and won't come out for 4 years means he'll definitely appear in Justice League 1 and might even cameo in there. A Flash movie would be themed to... Oh, unless he was playing Jay Garrick. Earth 1, okay. That should be interesting.
They're actually making an Aquaman movie.
The Aquaman movie I can't wait to see because it's like isn't Jason I forget exactly his last name.
The guy who played Khal Drogo.
I liked him as an actor.
Guys, Aquaman is the best. He controls the oceans.
Aquaman is pretty beast. Everybody's like, what
that
power does he
Aquaman's
have? He talks to fish. No, Aquaman is also a martial artist. Plus, he has super strength that everybody forgets about. Not to mention, he can call a shark over to eat your ass if you with him too much.
There was an animated movie I saw, and I think it was a Batman movie, and the basis of the movie was Aquaman and Wonder Woman were at war with each other. So it was the Amazonians versus like the Mer people.
Uh-huh.
And I forget what it's called, but it was honestly one of the best animated movies I'd ever seen. God, what was it called? I don't remember. I'll try to look it up, but it was really good, and it surprised me because I always thought Aquaman was this, a mistake for a superhero, and then I saw that and I was like, wow, no, he is a badass. Like he can do some stuff.
He can. Now, this is the movie I'm excited about. Shazam hits theaters in 2019, and Dwayne Johnson is going to play Black Adam.
Ooh.
And I think that is a great choice, actually. A great choice.
He's really come through with his acting career, honestly. When he first started off as the Scorpion King, I was kind of like, eh.
Yeah,
But now he's getting into he's doing well with his acting career, honestly.
He really is. I agree with you there. After that, in 2019, will be Justice League Part 2. And then there's going to be a Cyborg movie, which is going to be interesting in 2020.
Ray Fisher.
Ray Fisher. Okay, I could see him being Cyborg. He looks right. I'll give him that. New Green Lantern movie in 2020. So yeah, there's actually looks pretty cool for DC here soon. They're going to be looking like they're going to be stepping up their game, which is nice.
I wonder who they'll pick for the Green Lantern movie. If it's going to be Ryan Reynolds again, or if they're just going to try to go a different direction.
I don't know.
I think they might go a different direction because if he's already associated with Deadpool, and then that turns into like a huge thing.
He's already talked about playing Hal again.
So then he'll be in DC and Marvel. He'll be the.
He don't care as long as those checks don't bounce.
There might be some contractual agreement though that saying that you can't work for. I don't know.
No, because he was in a Marvel movie and a DC movie.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he already was.
Yep. So I don't know. Honestly, if they do it, I hope they follow Kyle Rayner, not Hal Jordan.
Who's
Kyle is the third. Hold on a minute. Yeah, he's the third Green Lantern because you got Jordan, Gardner, Rayner, John, and I can see him, but I can't think of his name. The first Green Lantern they ever talked about. He's not really a Green Lantern. He is his ring was broke when he got it, and it merged with his body. So he is actually he's pretty much a lantern, like the actual charging.
Alan
ring.
Scott.
Alan Scott. There we go. They changed it now on Earth 2. He's gay. He's like the first gay D character that got married and stuff like that. They changed it since the original one, but his powers aren't exactly like the rest of the Green Lanterns. He's connected directly to the Omega, like the Prime battery, and his powers are ridiculously strong.
In the Green Lantern series, there's like the villains and stuff. I don't understand it. They're different. There's different colors, and I don't understand how that works.
One's fear.
It's all supposed to be like spectrums of emotion, which don't make any sense because I didn't know will was an emotion, nor was death or life was an emotion. But okay, I'll bite. So you got fear, you got will, you got hope, you got um, what is violet? Passion.
Passion?
Yeah, passion. Or love, excuse me, is the violet people. Aqua. Oh God, what are they? Green Lantern. Ring. Let's list these bad guys off. Power rings.
So
Indigo.
red is kill, rage, pain, and hatred.
Yep. Now the thing about Kyle Rayner's ring is actually different from everybody else's ring. So red is the Red Lantern core and their rage. Orange is greed, and there's only one person that's in it, and that is Larfleeze. But he has crap loads of constructs he can use. Our avarice is the thing. Yellow is fear, of course, and that's the Sinistra Corp. Blue is hope. Indigo is compassion. That's what it is. Violet is love. And black is death, and white is life, and of course green is will.
That's a lot.
It is, and and then the colors mix too. Like if a blue lantern and a green lantern are around each other, and they both have the same goal, the green lantern's power is doubled. Like literally, they instantly become twice as strong, and the blue lantern gets the ability to make constructs where usually they don't. So as long as their hope and will is in alignment with each other, they aid each other, and it's like, okay, so we're getting a little convoluted, but okay, I'll bite.
Yeah, I
I'll
understand.
bite. Yeah, I'll bite. It's a comic book. So and there's a couple times that Hal Jordan is wearing both rings. He wears a blue and a green ring, and his power level just goes absurd, like 9,000, like that, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, and the ring will go away if his hope does not align with his will, or anything like that. So it's interesting how they do it all. Wow, I went on a comic book rant, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Just to change topics real quick, I don't know if if Spencer watches it, but Doctor Who, I gotta talk about.
Oh yeah, I used to watch it. Yeah, I haven't watched the new ones, but
Watch it.
Okay, so just to let you know, let's let everyone know this is a spoiler alert because I'm gonna be talking about the new season 8 episodes to talk to Kelly about it. So if you haven't seen that,
I haven't seen last night's episode, so we're not talking about that yet.
That's what I wanted to talk about there. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna have to let you down for right now.
My girlfriend and I will watch every show together. Like we watch Shameless, we watch Game of Thrones, we watch everything. I try to sit her in front of Doctor Who, and she immediately got up and walked away. She was like, "This is not for me." I like the show, but I can't watch it with her. So
my girlfriend is the exact opposite. I said to her, and she was like, "Oh, what is this? This is so stupid." And then like last Sub Sunday I was on, she was texting me the whole time talking about how like amazing the show is. And like even there's some times where I try to call her to just like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, "Sorry, I gotta catch up. The 11th Doctor's gonna change pretty soon. I gotta make sure I keep." I'm like, "Oh my God, what have I made her into?"
People who get sucked into it, you create a monster out of them. You really do. You got no clue what you just did to that person. I had a friend I was sitting there watching, and he comes over and he's hanging out, and I'm like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Watch a Doctor." He's like, "Oh, this is stupid." Yeah, now it's 2 years later. He owns the box set of all of the seasons, and he like has the entire lore memorized. And I'm like, "You're my bitch."
Okay, so I wanted to ask you. That lady. Every time someone dies, like she's like, "Hey, who is she?"
I have no clue. I don't know.
Because they're making hints to like things that happened before, like way before. And it's like
I'm kind of wondering if she's the master, maybe, or maybe she's just I don't know. I have no clue. Maybe she's River. Who knows?
Well, can't she not be River? Because River's uploaded into that thing. But what if they're all in that thing? Because she did die.
There's no telling. We'll have to wait for them to reveal it. I'm not actually even creeping for answers to that. I don't care to hear about answers to that.
How do you like Capaldi?
Capaldi is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. He is a grumpy, smartass old man.
So you did watch the train episode, right?
Yes.
That one, it was especially like that's when I was like, oh, this is the best performance because there's times where like you can tell that he's not who he was before, because what he would do is that he would like tell people that they're gonna die. He says, I don't care, like you will die. That's gonna happen. So what? Not my problem.
There's nothing I can do about it. Let's learn.
Nothing I can do. Yeah, let's learn from it. And they're like, but I'm gonna die. I don't care.
Yep. Yeah, you better make it the last minutes of your life count. That's what it said.
That whole episode, I was just like, how is he gonna beat this? There's no way. And then at the end, I'm like, oh wow. I hope the Master does come back. I think that was a pretty good.
Well, they've already actually talked about the Master coming back. Like he's gonna be coming back soon.
Is it the same actor, or are they gonna?
Oh no, it'll be a different actor. From what I understand, it's gonna be an earlier incarnation of the Master. Like John Sims, which was the last guy to play the Master. He's technically the Master. Okay, so the Master has died.
Yeah.
He has been destroyed, taken back to Gallifrey. He tried to come back with the Eighth Doctor. The Eighth Doctor defeated him and destroyed him. Actually, the TARDIS ate him. Then he was resurrected for the Time Wars. Okay?
Mm.
He was then killed during Ten's run. He came back at the end of Ten's run and fought Rassilon back into the moment. And that's the last we've seen the Master. Now, he had 13 regenerations that we never saw. We only saw a couple of the regenerations throughout time. So this is possible that we are encountering a Master from the past, like one of his regenerations.
Why did the Master turn all bad stuff? I never knew.
He looked into the vortex and went crazy.
Oh, they did talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Now here's a funny thing. Bill and Ted 3 has been announced.
Really?
Yes. Keanu Reeves and the other guy are coming back to be Bill and Ted.
That's awesome, dude.
And apparently, from what I've heard, the plot is, it's so many years later, and they have still yet to write the song that changes the world.
Well, it's a good thing that Keanu Reeves is immortal because
I know, right?
He'll probably look the exact same as it. It's funny. They're gonna show the other guy from Bill and Ted, and he's gonna look like he's like in his 50s, and Keanu Reeves is gonna just be the same guy he was 50 or not 50.
I know, right? That is hilarious. But now George Carlin played Rufus. Okay, Rufus was the guy who told him how to travel time and helped them out. So here's my thought. Since Bill and Ted is obviously a ripoff of Doctor Who, I mean, it is. They took a lot of the ideas and just ran with it and had fun with it.
Wait, can someone explain to me what Bill and Ted is?
It's these two stoner kids that like had
Sorry, DeQuazy, I'm just gonna have to mute you now.
It's these two they were in high school, right? High school kids.
Yeah, they were high school kids.
Yeah, and they had a report that they had to do, and so they went back in time and collected all these historical figures for the report that they had to do, and it was it was just funny. It's a silly movie, but it's really funny.
You can unmute yourself now.
So how did they go back in time though?
Okay, so how it works out is George Carlin comes from like hundreds of years in the future with a telephone booth. And they dial phone numbers that leads them to certain portions in time. And they have a phone book with every time code and phone number for every location.
They have a phone booth?
Yes, they have a phone booth.
Oh.
Yes, which is why I said it's just a blatant ripoff of Doctor Who. Okay, so Rufus was George Carlin. George Carlin passed away recently. God rest his soul. Wherever he may be. And God, I'm looking at all the actors from that movie, and man, they look old now. and what was I saying? Anyway, so my thought is let us just continue to rip off Doctor Who and find another actor that looks completely different. Call him Rufus, have him show up in the telephone booth and say he's Rufus and that he was reincarnated.
Look at Bill. Look like Alex Winter. Look how old this guy is.
He looks rough, man.
Time has not been nice to him. He should have gone to that telephone booth a couple more times and got a younger version of himself.
Right, exactly.
And Keanu Reeves looks the exact same. He nothing's changed.
Nothing has changed. But they should just continue with the complete ripoff and keep going with it because it's great. Yeah, he looks just you know what his face has got longer. That's what's different. His face is longer.
Yeah, he's lost some weight. That's pretty much.
and by the way, Dick One, you need to watch Bill and Ted. You need to watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and you need to watch Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure, because they're both just stupidly funny.
This is an actual thing that I just found.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Damn.
There's people that think that Keanu Reeves is Charlemagne, Paul Monet.
I'll drop it in the thing so you guys can look at it.
Oh my god.
Oh man,
That's pretty
funny.
Yeah.
But Bill and Ted, man, Bill and Ted was just. Whenever I went to AWA, I picked up my best friend on the way to my sister's house, right? And we were sitting there, and we were like, man, neither one of us were tired at all. We couldn't do it. We were just like, we're not tired, we're not anything. What do you want to do? He plugged in his PlayStation 3 and flipped on Netflix, and I'll be damned if Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure was sitting there. We sat up till like 3 o'clock in the morning watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
It's not a good movie by any means. It's not like that movie.
No, what makes it great is it's so cheesy.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. It does what it sets out. What it sets out to do.
Yes.
Now they're making a new Dumb and Dumber too, which I'm not that excited for. I don't think it's going to be as good as the other ones.
They're too old.
Anybody who has high expectations for this movie is about as dumb as they're going to act in this movie.
No, yeah, I know. People are going to, but that's what I'm saying, though. It's probably going to get bad reviews because people are going to go out there thinking, this is going to be the funniest movie of the year, but
no.
It's going to be the dumbest movie of the year.
Yes,
that's what it's going to be.
That's all it's going to be. It is going to be the dumbest movie we've seen. That's the first one.
Yep.
So what you're saying is there's a chance? That movie was stupid, okay? And that's all it was. It was the dumb. And Daquan hasn't seen it, have you?
I have seen it.
Okay, good. I was saying it is a stupid movie, and I've seen the previews for Dumb and Dumber 2, and I'm sitting here going, "This is going to be so stupid. It's going to be great."
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
I think a lot of people go to the movies nowadays expecting to have a life-changing experience, and sometimes they're just there to have fun, like you're just there to laugh a couple times and enjoy yourself.
Exactly. Like it's like the Turtles, the new Turtle movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. People got butthurt over it. You know what? Me and my kids went to watch it with my wife. Me and my wife and my kids went to watch it. You know what? It was freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it so much. My kids enjoyed it so much. And when it comes down to it, if you're a 29-year-old man sitting there critiquing a child's movie, to reassess your life, my friend.
And and like Michael Bay, like as a director, he's not for me. I don't go to his movies expecting to be that guy who he impresses. He's there to impress the 12-year-old boys. You know what I mean? Like that's what his movies are there for.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there for the 22-year-old guy. And if you go into a Transformers movie, same as a Ninja Turtles movie, expecting it to be the next Fight Club, then you're you're gonna have a bad time, So.
Yes. I agree with you, dude. I agree with you because it was good, I laughed, my wife laughed, my kids laughed. The toaster laughed, I shot it. So yeah, I enjoyed it. And you know what? If you're gonna go in there and you're gonna look crap on it, don't waste your time. But if you're gonna go in there and enjoy the fact that the turtles are back and they look pretty cool, okay, they do actually look pretty cool. And they, the puns and the cheesiness is there. It is there, thick. Then you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna have a really good time.
I heard that the Turtles and Daredevil had similar storylines. As far as like the way they, I was reading an article about it. Not storylines as in like everything's exactly the same, but the way they come to be who they are.
The Ninja Turtles and Daredevil?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to find some facts on this one. Here.
All right.
This is some mighty big allegations here, man.
One small thing is that the turtles are turtles, and that the Daredevil is a person. I don't know, man.
I know Daredevil was blinded by chemicals.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm getting a phone call.
Okay.
It's a Wikipedia article, so it could be, but it got a lot of play on Reddit, so I mean everyone's talking about it.
All right, drop the link.
All right. Look at that love. Look at that love. We all want that someday. One of these days. We all strive for that.
All right, let's see.
We just got age gated. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks.
No problem, anytime. By the way, Cole, I don't care if you want to rip these off my channel and upload them to yours. It's cool, dude.
Thank you, because people are all like, "You're not on Sub Sunday," and I'm like, "Yes, I am."
I got proof, damn it.
I dropped a link.
TIL, the Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, were originally a parody of Daredevil, and both Daredevil and the Turtles were created from the same accident.
That's today. I don't know if it's true, but it looks like it.
For the love of all that is holy, please read the rules in the wiki or sideboard before posting. Please message the mods an appropriate post. Okay. I don't know if anyone can confirm this, but a friend once told me that the Turtles' love of pizza came from the fact that the creators were eating pizza in that brainstorming session. And you know something? That's pretty damn close to the real reason why they love pizza. You know why the Shredder is named Shredder?
Why?
Because Kevin, one of the creators, was like, cheese shredder. He is literally named after a cheese shredder.
Because there's a bunch of stoners sitting around thinking of comic book ideas, and Ninja Turtles were born.
It's basically what it was. I'm not shitting you. It's basically how it was. I don't see the supporting facts to this.
I don't see the link. Yeah, I don't see the link between the two.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Turtles' origin contained direct allusions to Daredevil, the traffic accident between a blind man and a truck carrying radioactive ooze, a reference to Daredevil's own story. Indeed, in the version told in the first issue, Splinter sees the canister strike a boy's face. The name Splinter also parodied Daredevil's mentor, a man known as Stick. The Foot, a clan of evil ninjas who became the Turtles' arch enemies. Enemies likens to the Hand, who were a mysterious and deadly ninja clan in the pages of Daredevil.
Somebody was like, "Hey, dude, I got this theory. You know the Turtles and Daredevil are alike."
One of the craziest theories that I actually because there's all these movie theories that you read on Reddit and stuff like that. But I saw one about Ferris Bueller's Day Off, about how Ferris was actually a creation of Cameron's mind, and that he never really existed, and all this. And I was like, who thinks these things up? He was just sitting there watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and is just like thinking way too much into it. You know, like I'm pretty sure Ferris existed. I saw him. You know?
Definitely.
Yeah. That's yeah. I just people like that pain my soul. Right here. That's yeah. Anyways. Awkward silence, anybody?
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
sorry,
I was reading an article. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. No, I actually saw a movie yesterday. I'm not really big into indie films or anything like that, but I saw a movie yesterday called The Grand Budapest Hotel. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
I've heard of it. I've heard it before. But what is it about?
It's like a dramedy, and it has Bill Murray in it. It's about a hotel concierge, and it's quirky. It's super quirky, and it's funny, and it's sad, and it's everything you want in that kind of movie. And I really enjoyed it. I'd probably say it's one of my favorite indie movies that I've ever seen. It was really good. And I haven't seen any like reviews on it or anything like that. Sometimes I like, me and my girlfriend and I, we like to just pick a random movie that we've never heard of and just give it a try, and not read any of the reviews and just watch it.
I try to do that with foreign movies that aren't even in English.
Old Boy. Have you seen Old Boy?
Old Boy was friggin' fantastic.
Old Boy was.
Are we talking the Korean version?
The Korean
version,
obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
The American version was just as fucking amazing. Okay. And
really?
I don't say that much. Much about American versions of Asian movies, but both incarnations are fucking amazing.
Can you
I've
tell
only
me
seen
about
the Korean one.
what this is about?
How can you even tell him?
We cannot spoil the ending.
Yeah.
But basically a guy, Korean version to English version, I'm going to give you both the years and stuff like that. Basically a guy was such a douchebag throughout his entire life that somebody put his ass in a room for 15 years in the Korean version, 20 years in the American version. He gets out, and he is on a mission to find out who it was and why they put him in there. And then, at the end, has the most twisted fucking ending in the world. You're going to sit there going...
It ruined my day.
This will be... You're like...
It's on Netflix, by the way.
Yes.
I gotta go watch it.
Now, the Korean version is great. It is very great. Has wonderful violence.
And acting.
Wonderful violence, yes. But the American version, you know what? They both have amazing violence. That's what.
Is the story the same? Because I haven't seen the American version.
There are small tweaks between them, but it is pretty much the same exact story.
Yeah, that movie was probably the most effed up movie I've ever seen. Like, I was just like, no. Oh my god. I was in my girlfriend's house, everyone's sleeping, and I literally went, no! Oh no!
Yeah, that ending, dude. Wow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You have no clue. I mean, seriously, our reactions are not even close to what our reactions were when we watched it.
It was bad.
So I think I know what I'm gonna do now.
What are you gonna do now?
I'm going to watch the movie, and I'm gonna see in the bar when it's like a little bit towards the ending. Then I'm gonna film myself watching the movie and see what my reaction is.
Dude, I can tell you now, you're gonna be like,
your reaction is just gonna be silence. It's just like, what?
What? Did that just what?
Yeah, it was really good. Have you guys seen The Wave or Die Wille? Or it's a German movie.
Mm-mm.
Really good. It's about it's about a teacher, and he's basically they're in Germany, and they're trying to show their students how easy it could be to go back into, because they're all like, since Hitler, that could never happen again. All this like that's so far in the past, and the teacher's trying to show them, hey, it could happen again, and the movie just kind of it snowballs from there, like he slowly tries to like show them that it could happen. Eventually, it does happen within his classroom, and the ending of that movie is also a very big twist, and it's really good. German film. I don't know if you guys are into foreign films that much, but that one is a really good one. Also on Netflix, The Wave.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
I feel like you guys, like, especially you, like you have a whole bunch of movies that I've never even heard of now that I just would need. Do you have anything else that you want to suggest? Because I have a list going.
The Wave. Are you talking to
Everything.
Kelly? Sorry.
There's the Old Boy is actually part of a Korean film series called the Vengeance Trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Check out Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Sympathy for Mrs. Vengeance. They are both magnificent too. So, no.
Let's see. Okay.
I'm watching a video.
Wait, what video are you watching?
I just linked it.
No?
It's apparently a end of the world prank. during a
Oh,
job
I've seen
interview.
this. I've seen this.
Apparently they put like a super high definition flat screen TV behind people as during the interview, and there's like
They replaced the window with the TV, and yeah, it's pretty funny.
I'm watching it right now.
oh god, that's demented. I love how everybody's like, what? What? The one guy's freaking out.
I have one of those Ultra HD TVs, man, and it is
That does
beautiful.
look like a window.
It's beautiful.
That's funny. I like that. That's pretty good.
That one guy with the long hair.
Oh yeah. The female took it well. She was like, "What? What?" Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but see, in a real scenario like that, she would be the one who died. She reacted the least. She was just like, "Oh no, not that, please no."
Mira.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right.
And then they turn off all the lights. How cruel. How
Oh.
Oh, that's
Well, the worst
awful.
part is these people actually thought they were going in for a job interview, and then they get pranked, and they're like, "What the hell? Do I get the job or?"
Oh,
I got
that's
the
so
new
messed up.
Samsung Curve. Have you guys seen commercials on that, or?
No, what are the Samsung Curves commercials?
It's like, well, they're not like funny like that or anything like that, but it's like a curve, like those new curved TVs that are like
Oh,
Ultra HD. I got one of those, and man, that is a nice TV.
You mind dropping how much it costs?
It was at Best Buy. It's like $8,000.
yeah. I got like a TV from like 1997 out there.
I still got one of those box TVs.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if it works, then whatever,
8K is a lot. I could build a new PC with 8K.
You could build a couple of PCs with 8K.
I could build one big nasty PC. If I had
Yeah.
8K to dump into a PC, are you kidding me? That would be a nasty freaking.
If you dumped 8K into a PC, how long do you think that PC would last before you have to upgrade something?
A while.
Oh, wow, dude, a long time.
Because I'd be running two dual Titan Z's. And there's
Those are expensive on their own. Yeah, how much are those?
and I dumped the 3Gs a pop roughly.
Yeah.
So
And
it'd be
then
six for those, and then 2 for.
Then I
Everything else.
put everything else into the processor and the motherboard and the RAM and all that stuff. I mean, computer I'm using right now is, I probably spent $900 on maybe.
Yeah, I spent about $1,000 on mine.
Have you ever thought about using a dual PC streaming setup?
I have, but I don't have the capture card to do it.
So exactly how would that work? Because I've seen people talk about it, but I don't know how it works.
Basically, I would have another computer sitting behind me that would handle everything that I needed it to handle. Streaming, all my, the capturing, everything. And that would spit it out to the internet, while this computer handled all the gaming, and that's it.
You're just basically lightening your load on one of your.
But how do you like link the two?
It's through a capture card. Same way you do it off of a console.
So you don't have a capture card?
No, I don't have a capture card. Everything I game on is PC right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Now, if you did have a capture card, do you think you would game more on consoles, or you still stick to PCs? You think?
I would do both, actually. I would have a weekly COD session on Xbox, and then after that I'd play everything else on PC.
Do you have the new consoles, or you still have the 360?
I got a 360 and a PS3. I'm not even gonna bother with the next gen systems. As a matter of fact, I have a next gen system sitting right next to me. It's called a computer.
Next gen for the next forever.
The only reason why
4 years.
people get consoles still, I think, is for the exclusives.
I get it because my friends.
Yeah, I mean, and that too. Yeah, that's a good reason too.
Mainly. Because if I was
I'd
just
make my friends buy PCs.
No, I will not play with you. You better buy a PC. No.
Buy a PC if you want to play video games with me.
PCs are more expensive. I mean, let's be honest. PC.
No, they are not.
No, Steam.
No, they
I
are
would,
not.
no. The hardware. The hardware itself.
No. See, listen here. You can drop a G into a PC and it'll last another 5 years. Okay. You will get better performance, better videos, better everything out of it than you will get out of a gaming console. If anybody has a problem with that, bite my ass. Because it is true.
Yeah.
Okay. On top of that, you're going to be dropping $60 a game for a brand new game where I can find it damn near half price most of the time for all the newest hits. So where you're going to drop, let's say $3,000, $4,000 into a console over 5 years. Okay, let's just say that.
Over 5 years? Yeah.
Over 5 years. No,
Yeah,
okay,
that's cool.
let's say let's say 5 years. Over 5 years, I'll drop $3,000 in games and my PC and all that. And guess what? 5 years after that, I can still play my games. Where you have to go buy digital copies or keep another system or keep another copy or hope they release a patch whenever the new system comes out. Guess what? I can throw StarCraft in this system and run it.
I think that, okay, for consumers, they look at a $800 PC and they think, that's really expensive. I can spend $800 on a PC, or I can spend $500 on an Xbox and get, another $300 worth of games, and you know what I mean. And they look at it and they go, it's a lot of money up front. And another thing about console gaming is that it's the living room. You can sit on your couch and enjoy yourself, as opposed to like up on your keyboard and mouse. And
I can do the same thing with my PC. I just choose not to.
Exactly, but most people don't know how, or they don't want to learn how. And then that's why consoles still survive today.
And consoles also survive for other reasons too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I am not, as much as I joke about PC Master Race and all that stuff, I enjoy my consoles. I mean, I do. I have my 360 sitting there. It's covered in dust, and my game stacked up there. And I don't think I've actually pulled Black Ops 2 out of that in 3 months. Whenever I put it in there, but I only play it every two or three. Every couple days I play it. I play like 2 matches and then I get off. And my PS3 sits out in the living room. It streams Netflix for my kids. I have 5 games on that, and I've only played 2 of them. So I mean, I like my consoles for what I use them for. They distract my children.
Yeah, they're good babysitters.
Yes, excellent babysitters. No, and eventually what I'm gonna do is, when I get into this new place, I'm gonna set up my PS3 and my 360 where I can get to them and play them better.
Are you gonna do a setup video? You should.
I probably will because I'm gonna have a lot more room at the new place than I did at this place.
Are you gonna do a MTV Cribs video?
No.
This is my fridge.
This is my computer. This is my fridge. That's it. That's all.
That's all I got. That's all I need. That's all I need right now.
That's right. So yeah, no, I like consoles. I like the idea of them, and they're good. And I started out as a console gamer. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I started out as a console gamer on the Nintendo.
Which Nintendo? The original?
The Nintendo.
The Nintendo.
The
I started
Nintendo.
out as on the Sega Saturn. That was my first console I ever got. Was a Sega
And
Saturn.
I still want to track down another Sega Saturn. I've had 3 in my lifetime, and I love the Sega Saturn. It was a great console.
To be honest, I didn't even know what a Sega Saturn is.
That's what a Sega Saturn is. That is awesome, Spencer. That is awesome.
I keep all my old stuff.
That is awesome, dude. I spent hours upon hours playing Shinobi Legion, and
This has been in there for like 20 years. Dude.
Virtual Cop. I still have a copy of that somewhere. You know what game is stupid, ridiculous to find on Sega Saturn? Resident Evil.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
You can't find it on Sega Saturn very very easily.
And you go to those like retro gaming shops, and they're like
Oh,
probably
yeah.
like $80 a game. You know, it's like, dude, come on. How many people do you have coming in here looking for Resident Evil on Sega Saturn?
Looking for Battletoads.
Looking for Battletoads.
Right? Let's see. Resident Evil, Sega Saturn. Totally kick me in the butthole. What?
How much?
$299.99. Only one left in stock. That's on Amazon.
Amazon is like they're
For some reason, I feel like they say there's only like 1 or 2 left in
Yeah.
stock. When in reality,
But
there's a whole
that-
bunch. They're just like.
But you
"No,
also you
want
can
it."
look at used, and it has 10 used for $22.50.
how used. Like, am I just gonna be able to put that in a frame and hang it on my wall, or can I actually play it?
Possibly. Some scratches, game only, no book or case included. Game is used, so any codes or downloadable content. What? Oh, okay, that's the downloadable content. Whoa! We didn't even know what downloadable content was from Sega Saturn.
The first game I ever played on my Sega Saturn was Mortal Kombat. That game blew my mind. It blew my mind, dude. And my mom was like, "You can't play this." I'm like, "I already did." So I guess that's a mute point now.
Oh well. 1997. Holy crap.
Oh, I was 1.
You were one.
Yeah.
I was 15. Yeah, I was 15. Right? No. I wasn't 15. I was 6, 7. Let's see. 7. Fuck, math is horrible.
I was probably 5 or 6.
I was 13. I was 12 or 13.
Yeah, I was 5 or 6.
Yep, I was 12.
Old enough to know what I was doing with the controller.
Yep. Them days, man. Them days are long gone for me. God, I don't want to think about it. Not
Can you imagine that people that are born in 1997 are like 18, 17 now?
Dude, shut up, man. Just shh.
that is bizarre to me, and I'm only 22.
Bruh. I remember when the first episode of Power Rangers aired on Fox.
Oh man, I
I
see.
still love Power Rangers. I
That's
don't
before
care.
me.
I still love Power Rangers too.
I mean,
My son has okay, so Sentai, Super Sentai is what Power Rangers is based off of. Okay, and they every year at AWA they have a panel called Super Sentai versus Power Rangers. And this year I showed up to view it, and I was like, everybody was bitching about Super Mega Force and how they just butchered it, and they really did. They had a possibility of taking fantastic the Gokaiger series and making it into an awesome show, and they butchered it. It's horrible what they've done to it when you compare to the source material. Okay, but I looked at everybody in there. I says, now, I fully agree with you that when you compare the source material, Super Mega Force is crap. But we got to remember one thing. If it wasn't for Saban pulling Zoo Ranger over here and calling it Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, none of us would be having this discussion. We would not be able to bitch about the difference. And they're all like, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Who's that?
Huh? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, who's that one guy? I think his name is like Jason David Frank, I believe.
He was Tommy.
And he's still like, well, I mean, he's not, of course, a part of it anymore. But the fact that like he's still at conventions and signing things and still like
They
out
all
there.
do.
Really?
They all do. Yeah. Jason Austin, or not Jason Austin's. Austin.
What just happened?
Austin Saint Crep or Saint. I can't remember the guy who played Jason from the original series, Mighty Morphin. He just actually got back to the into the convention circuit. Like he's actually started touring again and signing autographs because whenever he quit, he became an EMT and a firefighter. Went overseas for a little while, and he came back, and now he's started back into the circuit and signing people's. And he was voted the greatest Red Ranger ever and the coolest Red Ranger ever. Everybody's like, Tommy's awesome. No, you don't get it. Jason.
Tommy wasn't just. Tommy was a lot of things.
And I can go into a lot of stories I've heard about him. Apparently, he was obnoxious, like on set. Like people were like, a lot of the people were like, he was a really nice guy, he was an awesome guy, but God, he was obnoxious and energetic. Bouncing around. Can I do this? Come on, guys. How about this? Can I do this stunt? Can I do this? Come on. Let me do it. All right, dude. Chill. You can do it. Chill.
Did you guys hear about the former Power Ranger that was convicted of triple murder back in 2008?
What?
You guys didn't hear about that?
No.
I needs me a link.
Yeah, throw those links from there.
Throw them links, bro.
This was a little while ago, but yeah, he killed 3 people. Took that Power Ranger stuff a little too seriously.
Oh no! He wasn't a Power Ranger. He was just a child. He was in one episode.
Oh, he was just in one episode? He was an actual Ranger?
No, he was not.
Okay, so I misread.
He had a non-speaking role on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I had non-speaking role. I didn't see that. But,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah. He like, killed, like, 3 or 4 people with his girlfriend. That was crazy. So, alright, we're going to call it a night here.
Okay, well, hopefully all of you enjoyed Sub Sunday number 45. Sorry if I wasn't speaking as much. They were talking about things that I have no clue about that I have to go do a whole bunch of movie watching later. So thank you, Spencer, for coming on. Thank you, Kelly, for having me again as a host of Sub Sunday, and I will see you guys next Sunday. Bye.
Thanks for coming out, guys. You guys rock.
Thanks for having me.
Say goodbye, Spencer.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for having me, guys.